All right. First, we start the Calder Football League. We select our draft room. Continue to the draft room after we have the advertisement. Let's maximize the screen. And let's set up the quadrants to be a little bit more convenient for size. So this tells you how much time until the draft starts. Once it starts, it'll tell you how much time until the next pick. This is the current draft order, and this moves along as people in the draft move along. You can see that the Rockers, Larry Lindenstein is first, and he's right now got autopilot turned on. We'll cover autopilot in a couple minutes. So for the first round, it's only team quarterbacks. So over here, we select team quarterback. I've already got quarterbacks in my queue. Let me remove them. Here's how you remove somebody from your queue. Now to add somebody to your queue, you pick the quarterback you want. And let's say I want the Bengals again this year. You select, not over here because that's a link, select someplace in this range. Click. When you see that show up and you start to pull, you'll see a double cross like that. Just drag it down and drop it into your queue area. And let's say maybe you want Josh Allen as the next choice. You just keep picking quarterbacks until you have. So I'm 7th in the queue. Actually, I'm 9th in the queue, so I have to have 9 quarterbacks here in order for me to get one that I want and maybe not get stuck with somebody I can't stand at all. Of course, the Ravens. Then don't have to put them at the bottom. I can put them, well, they always go to the bottom, looks like. Never going to choose a Cowboy. And, well, Patrick Mahomes, got to have him, right? Just drop him down there. And let's say we'll do the Packers. Now, I don't like the order. So just grab that little arrow right here and pulled it up a little bit so I can see. And let's say I want the 49ers to move up to number 2. And I want the Ravens, again, to move up to, let's say, number 1. So simple enough to move those around, okay? Over here, once the draft starts, you'll see the picks, and you can choose either the results by round, which is the default, or by team, or a roster grid of all the players. Pops up in front of you like that. Down in the chat room is where the trash talking and questions happen. Now, once you've got your queue somewhat filled up, I think there's a limit of 8 or maybe 10. Well, it looks like there's a limit of at least 9, right? Players that you can put in the queue. So you can't load the queue up completely for all the first 2 rounds. But let's say for me again, I want to go out to band practice on Tuesday, and I want the CBS to make this pick for me based on my choices. So I come up to here, turn on autopilot. You see that I got this mark right there. It says autopilot's on. And that means that when my turn comes up, CBS will first come to my draft queue and choose the highest ranked player available. And these are the rankings it uses, the ones I chose. If none of those are available, it'll choose one of its own choosing that it thinks is ranked highly. And then it'll go on to the next player in the queue, in the draft order. So it's a good practice if you know what you want to do and you have enough players in your queue to fill it up, because it means our draft will finish before September. So when you leave the draft room, just turn on autopilot. When you come back into the draft room, autopilot automatically gets turned off. I'll demonstrate that. So I close that, and I'm pretty sure I'm still on autopilot. I can't demonstrate that from here. Come back into the draft room. And it says I'm still on autopilot. Well, that's a good fix then. All right. I'd still be careful. Every time I leave the draft room, I'd leave autopilot on. Okay, that's a very quick tutorial. I hope that was good enough for all of you.